Happy Sabbath, family. I do hope you're all doing well and keeping safe in these times. I know that we're all affected by COVID-19 in one way or another. And, honey, it seems like forever since we last met at church. Our public place of worship. But in spite of what is happening and all the changes taking place, we can still give thanks to the Lord.
Yes, we can. I believe so.
Today our talk is on cabin fever. What is it? Do I have cabin fever? How do we cure it? Well, reports are indicating that there's an increase in domestic violence and even child abuse. Maybe people are experiencing cabin fever. So here's what we know of cabin fever. When people have restricted movements, let's say they have to observe shelter-in-place orders, those initial disagreements and discomforts may result in cabin fever.
Yes, cabin fever involves a range of negative emotions and distress related to the restricted movement. Some symptoms of cabin fever include irritability, boredom, some hopelessness, restlessness, and even difficulty concentrating. If you're more extroverted in nature, like someone is sitting beside me, you may experience cabin fever immediately. You are just not used to being at home. The thought that you might be at home for a long time is driving you up the walls.
If you're more introverted in nature, like
me,
you might take longer to reach cabin fever. You will see self-quarantine as a way to finally clean your home, sort out your bills, organize your closet, pursue a new hobby. So here are some ways you can ease tensions and feel less constrained in your home. We're suggesting that you establish a routine.
Yes.
The goal is to remain structured. Do not treat this COVID-19 as a vacation.
Oh, no.
We suggest that you get up and do all the things you normally would do during your former schedule, or as many as you can. Still get up, still shower, still get dressed. Do not lay around all day in your PJs. No. Eat meals at regular times. This can help you to remain structured.
Right. Next, it helps if you can mix your space up a bit. Your living space may have something to do with the cabin fever you're feeling. Ladies, we are good at this. What are we good at? We are good at moving things around in our homes, and now would be a good time to do this. Maybe you can redecorate your room. It can make your home feel fresher and not quite as stifling. So this is something we can try, ladies.
Okay, not stifling. All right. Another tension easer is to stay physically and mentally active. We do have to practice social distancing, yes. However, this doesn't mean you can't go outside. So, go outside, get some fresh air, take a walk.
Yes.
Exercise.
Yes, and I like doing those exercises with you, especially walking, and I hope that we can continue with them even after COVID.
Okay, certainly we'll have to just schedule it.
Yes.
All of these things are really important, so try them. We're also suggesting that you connect with others. Staying socially connected is really important. Now, you can connect virtually through texting, getting on the phone, talking on the phone with a friend, video chatting, joining online communities. Please consider too the possibility that others may be experiencing cabin fever. So call them up and let them know that you are thinking about them and hoping things are going okay. People are generally appreciative of this.
Yes. Another thing we can do is find time to separate. No, I'm not talking about that separate.
Okay.
It is possible that you may not be feeling cabin fever, as was said. However, the person or persons that you are living with could be feeling it strongly. How do you deal with the differences and cabin fever in such a situation? In one word, balance. Families and couples need a certain balance of togetherness and apartness. May I repeat? Families and couples need a certain balance of togetherness and apartness. When we are stuck indoors together, we can experience really high levels of interactions.
Okay.
High levels of interactions can lead to the likelihood of conflicts. These high levels of interactions might be hard for a lot of couples and families, even though they love each other dearly. Here are 2 suggestions. If you have separate places to be in, go there, because you may have different things you want to do at a particular time. For example, you may want to watch a television and I may want a quiet space to read a book.
At the same time.
At the same time.
Okay.
So that would be a good time to separate, go to your different spaces. This will help to reduce the conflict.
And then we come back?
Of course, most naturally.
Another thing
we can do is to take up individual hobbies, and each person can focus on when a breather from one another is needed. So individual hobbies is another thing we can take up or do.
Okay, individual hobby when there's need
You
for a
need
breather.
Right.
Okay, when I need a breather, individual hobby. I get it.
Okay.
We'd like to offer one more advice. Be content. Yes, you heard me.
Yes.
You heard me. Be content. I think 1 Timothy 6:6-8 puts it in perspective. What's the attitude we should have at this time? The Bible says, but godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. I like that. Food and raiment, that's enough. Food and raiment, I can survive. I might even strive. You see, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, one of the challenges we face at this time is that we really don't know how long this COVID-19 situation will last. Therefore, we'll have to adjust to the fact that this is a new normal. And it is important that we come to a place of acceptance.
Yes.
We're not supposed to like this COVID-19 situation. However, we should accept that this new reality is here.
Yes.
I believe our best energies and our giftedness are best served by taking charge of the things that we can control.
Right. I think there is something else we can accept also. Yes, as believers in God, we should accept that God is in control always, and that somehow in all of this is working out the details of our lives.
Okay.
Accept that He has your best interest at heart. In a cabin fever situation, we can pray for God's peace in our cabin. Jesus said, "Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." John 14 and verse 27.
A most assuring text.
Yes.
So, despite dealing with the disturbing dilemmas that will surface in your experience and in your respective families, understand that that reality cannot be bigger than the peace Jesus offers.
We just want to thank you for joining us today. Do have yourselves a holy and blessed Sabbath.